So when do you want me to play this song?
Um,
Every single jump,
after you introduce the locker room.
every trophy won, every wicket you break, every
Done.
breakaway you make, every cross, every dribble, every dunk, every
Agbaya.
pit stop, every loss, every victory,
Agbaya is swinging around in the chair.
single sport. We
We will be watching you.
Welcome inside the locker room.
Good morning. Hello. Hello. Good morning, Tega. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi. Hi. Like my nephew would say, hi. Hi.
Okay. I see that one doesn't have green passport.
No. No. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, for joining us on the Locker Room 981 for today, Monday, 30th August 2021. This morning, join the conversation by going live on YouTube with us. We're live already, so watch and comment and subscribe. Smooth FM Lagos is the handle. On Instagram, we're at Smooth981. On WhatsApp, 0809444091. Our phone line that will be made open soon, 01448991. There's more, but we got to listen to this.
Que empieza la liga, yo sé que me dices que sí, que sí, que sí, que sí. Yo sé que me dices que sí, que sí, que sí, que sí. Yo sé que me dices que sí, que sí, que sí, que sí. Yo sé que me dices que sí, que sí, que sí, que sí.
So that's it. That's how we decided to start the show today.
Yes. So today, everything La Liga.
It's a vibe.
Villarreal giveth and Villarreal taketh
Taketh.
away. They scored. They did all the hard work to beat Atletico Madrid at the Wando Metropolitano, and then they scored an own goal in the last minute of the game to give them a draw, as if the day was not bad enough. So yes, we're going to talk La Liga today. We're going to go to the Italian Serie A, where Tammy Abraham and Olivier Giroud scored for their new club. So Chelsea, good work there, giving the Italian Serie A some goals. And then we'll talk about, of course, Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. No banter, please. Today is a holiday. They have told me that I should not be allowing people to be dragging us. I went to somebody's birthday party, and everybody.
And that was the first thing they
and
did.
that's the first thing they kept telling me, that
wow.
I shouldn't drag Arsenal today. So no banter today
temper.
against Arsenal. Yeah, and then we'll talk about Liverpool, and then I will also debate the Manchester United win. Paul Pogba's tackle on Ruben Neves that Mike Dean did not give. Penalty or no penalty? And then we also discuss the medals we've won at the Paralympics, woohoo, and the Tiger situation, because it's a very sad situation. But in another good note, the Super Eagles players have started arriving. So Wilfred Ndidi, Kelechi Iheanacho, Alex Iwobi are already in town. They may not play for Cape Verde because of that red list rule of with the UK, but they are going to play against Liberia this Friday at the Teslin Balogun Stadium. So you still have your superstars in Lagos. Unfortunately, the tickets are only strictly, the fans are only allowed strictly by invitation. Yes, but you can watch it on TV live. You may even catch me on.
Who do you know? Yeah, I could catch you on
You may
screen.
even catch me on.
So no mention of CR7 and his shenanigans?
No.
No?
We are talking about his team today, unfortunately.
All
When
right.
he plays, we talk about him.
Oh, okay. Not how much he's getting, because I have a problem with that. Now, Bosse Omolayo just won another gold medal at the powerlifting event for Team Nigeria at the ongoing 2021 Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. Pardon me. Omolayo clinched gold in style, setting a new Paralympic record of 141 kg in this 79 kilogram female category. She joins Latifat Tijani as the only gold medalist on Team Nigeria's Paralympic roster so far. Team Nigeria has also won 2 bronze medals, courtesy of Olaiton Ibrahim and Lucy Ejike, with all 4 coming in powerlifting event.
Yes, so big one for Nigeria. Bosse Malayo, she actually attempted the world record but didn't make it, but she has the Olympic record. So great one for us. So we have 2 gold medals. For me, a little disappointing because Lucy Ejike was one of the gold medals I was sure about or I was sure of. Um, but she brought the bronze medal, and we celebrate all medals. In fact, we celebrate all performances. So good one for Lucy. It's just the it's just gold was really the color, and she attempted, she really did push, but she ended up with a bronze medal. So wait to see if we're going to get any more gold medals. But like I told you, with the Paralympics, medals are guaranteed. I, I don't know about any other the Summer Olympics, but the Paralympics, good medals.
Nice. Quite nice. I like it. Now, talking about Lewis Hamilton and Grand Prix, he was criticized.
Can we do
What?
the tiger story first?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, okay. Let's finish home. Okay. So the Tigers lost 68 to 77 points to Cote d'Ivoire in their last Group C game and failing to pick an automatic FIBA AfroBasket quarterfinal ticket. Nigeria will play the third-placed team in Group D in their quest to secure a quarterfinal ticket. Now, tracing the genesis of the painful loss, Coach Mike Brown said that the team did not play harder and together like a team that wanted to win. We didn't play hard or play together, and that's a recipe for disaster against a good team. You have to give Ivory Coast credit. They were extremely physical and confident, and they were together the entire game.
Yeah, so I would say this. Cote d'Ivoire prepared for the Tigers. The Tigers did not prepare for Cote d'Ivoire. Like I said, this was a new team, newly formed, couldn't get their Olympic team that they took. I mean, think about the Olympic team. We're even thinking of who to pick and who to leave. But for AfroBasket, it was a totally different kettle of fish. So we're able to get a team together. They won their first game against Mali, won their second game against Kenya. So winning against Cote d'Ivoire would have guaranteed them an automatic ticket to the quarterfinals, because with the FIBA AfroBasket, it's the top teams that go through or to qualify for the quarterfinals automatically. Second and third place now play for a spot in the quarterfinals, which is ridiculous to me. Why don't you just take the first and second teams?
Exactly.
But no, they have to. The second and third teams now have to play another extra round of matches to get to the quarterfinals, and so that's what happened to the Tigers. They get into that game against Cote d'Ivoire, and they were outpounded on the boards. It's not like the Tigers did not have open shots. They did have open look at shots, but they were missing their shots. They were fouling a little bit much. I think they came prepared after beating Kenya and Mali, thinking that that's how Cote d'Ivoire would be. But Cote d'Ivoire was just faster moving the ball. They played better like a team, and they forced the Tigers to play an extra pass every single time the Tigers had the ball. So really tough one for them. I don't think Cote d'Ivoire, the Ivorians, were a better team than the Tigers. I just think they were a better prepared team to face the Tigers than anybody else. So I think the Tigers have learned their lesson. Now we have to face Uganda and beat Uganda to get into the quarterfinals. So that's what we are banking that they will do. Otherwise, the Tigers would have been automatic tickets for the quarterfinals. Now they have to hustle for tickets. This hustle life is not good.
It's not good. It's not good at all. Gibran on the road says, Tega, in your honest opinion, where do you think Arsenal will finish on the EPL table with Arteta as coach?
I don't even know if Arteta will still be coach at the end of the season, but let's see how that goes.
And Gary Newton says, good morning. Please kudos to your analyst. That's Tega Supreme. She's doing a good job on the headline. With the headlines. Oh, you're speaking of Lagos stocks. All right. Let's get back to this one. It says, please, let's try and have a para president. Wow. Because we're winning in Paralympics, you should have a para president. Is that what he's saying?
I don't know what he means.
Gary, thank you. Haha, nice one. Lewis Hamilton has criticized the aborted Belgian Grand Prix as a farce and accused Formula One of cynicism in the way it ran the rain-hit race. Hamilton said drivers were sent out for 2 laps behind the safety car solely to secure an official result. He wrote this on Instagram, quote, we should have called it quits. No risks, not risked drivers or risked drivers, and most importantly, refunded fans who are the heart of our sport, end quote. He added, there was no moment today where we would have been able to race. Money talks. It was literally the 2 laps to start the race. The sport made a bad choice today. I found it curious. This is the first time it's happening in
Okay,
Formula
so
One
here, this is what the issue is with. Let me start from the genesis. So like I said on Friday, they had said it was going to rain all weekend. So even I in Lagos, Nigeria, not a part of the team, knew it was going to rain all weekend at Spa. Um, the rains came down even during qualifying, which is how Hamilton qualified third, because he went first and swept the water, and then George Russell came after him and went on to be second through the swept water, and then Verstappen came on through the double swept water and then took pole. Crazy weekend. So it was Verstappen, George Russell, and Lewis Hamilton. So everybody knew it was going to rain. The question was how much rain, and would we be able to race in these conditions? Visibility was the issue, because a lot of cars were saying they couldn't see anything in front of them. It was literally like driving through fog because rain was heavy. So here's the issue with this. Spa has paid ridiculously big amount of money to the F1 to be able to host this race. That's the circuit. They've sold tickets to fans, and the place was packed full. And these fans waited for the 3 hours delay that I took in the rain, with some with umbrellas, some were shivering, but they waited to see if there was going to be a race. They had sold those tickets. Now, the thing with F1 is that most of their stewards, a lot of their workers are volunteer workers. So on Monday, they go to their real jobs. They're probably journalists like me. And then for the weekend, they do other things with F1. So most of their workers, most of their staff, most of the people that make the F1 weekend are volunteer workers. So let me not say most, a lot. So logistically, to postpone the race to Monday, it would have been tricky. It would have either meant that F1 would have to bring out that money that they don't bring out on a normal day to pay these guys, or they would have to run a race that is shoddily prepared. So logistically, it was a nightmare to just move the race from yesterday to today. However, they could have cancelled and fixed another weekend. But again, it's still a logistics mindset, because think about it. They've prepared Friday. They've prepared Saturday. You mean they're going to spend another money to get ready just for a Sunday race? It's a tricky one. So there was, with the stewards, I don't see how this race could have been moved or cancelled. However, what they did was, because the law says if you run 2 laps, if you run 2 laps of an F1 race, it's enough for you to give class qualification. Only that if you run 2 laps but you don't reach up to 75% of the race, it's going to be half points. Now they thought of it that, look, if we cancel this race, or if we do it, we have to return these guys money. And they now decided to just do those 2 laps behind the safety car, and then
my people call it Ojoro.
Yeah, so they did Ojoro to the answer. Basically, I understand where they're coming from, because a lot of money that's been invested, and really they didn't want to return any money. I've seen NASCAR return money. I've seen IndyCar races return money for races that were cancelled due to weather conditions. But F1 did not.
They didn't do it.
I mean, Spa did not know that they want to return money. They've paid so much money, so they just said, you know what? In order for us to do this, everybody liaised with each other. F1 speaking to the circuit owners, and they said, let's just complete 2 laps of races behind the safety car. It will still be 2 laps of race, and it now earns us enough to give them half points, and they went away with it. So a lot of drivers were not happy. I think the only drivers that were really excited were Max Verstappen, who had shaved the leadership points between himself and Hamilton to 3, and then George Russell, whose first podium it was.
Yes.
But everybody else, I mean, people say Lewis Hamilton is angry because he finished third and he could have finished a little higher. I don't think so. Even Fernando Alonso, Sebastian Vettel, even Nikita Mazepin complained that he didn't even have a chance to race. So it's a problem if all the other drivers are complaining. But hey, it is what it is. There was no way they could avoid it. That's the way I see it. Logistically, it would have been a nightmare to reschedule. And so they chose the lesser of the devils. Let's upset a few people.
I'm telling you, that kind of business decision at that time is crucial.
It's a real business decision.
Stay with us. 18 minutes past 9 o'clock. You're listening to the Locker Room 981 here on Smooth Breakfast.
This is Smooth Breakfast. The Smooth Breakfast. Smooth Breakfast Show.
Yeah. That's what's up.
What happened?
I was voicing.
Okay, Mary, after listening to Sister Mary say Kesi, this one I'm listening to that. That's a good idea, Sha, to get an artist to do a full song for them.
I'm telling you.
I think UEFA has one like that too. The Champions League, they made a full remix.
No, it was still that boring orchestra. It's still the boring orchestra.
So
that-
like orchestra.
It's, when I say still the boring orchestra, La Liga has its own orchestra songs. Yeah, but what they did is that they made this.
Like a studio recorded version.
No, yeah, like with everything, with the orchestra, with the whole video of people doing with the 90 pregnant women and their heartbeats. They did a fantastic orchestra and whatever. But they also realized that if you're going to sell the soul of La Liga, you have to sell the people of La Liga. That's why they did this movie. So this guy already had this song.
Oh, okay.
They just contracted him and said to make a La Liga version. So now before games, instead of that boring you'll be hearing Sikemedi says Casey. Even my nephew started.
Yeah, if you're playing FIFA too. That's the song.
So it's not that boring. Because even me, I didn't recognize that they had a new song after the first weekend. So when my nephews were dancing to, they're all saying Casey, and I was wondering which one. It's the Liga song. I said, wow. So I went to ask the La Liga person I know, and he sent me the song.
I think UEFA has, but it's not by UEFA. Like someone has done like a more modern version of that, like a trap remix, but it's not sanctioned by.
This one is sanctioned by La Liga. This is La Liga song.
Yeah. It's so nice, actually. So like it's very catchy.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a vibey song.
So by the time before you dance one or two, you have started watching Atletico Madrid, even if you didn't plan to.
That's very smart.
Because you have to sell the people of La Liga, and they have really good music.
Yeah, France can do
It
that.
means you have exclusive access to amazing discounts and offers from a wide selection of Visa partners.
Mazino is still on.
Mazino,
Mazino, as in his voice is so catchy. So if I'm watching the Premier League, you know he's on the Guinness advert where time stands still. I know where Mazino's voice is because I use 3 people.
Yeah.
I know which one is Mazino's voice, and then he ends it. I'm just like, this Mazino, your voice is just so.
Very unique.
To enjoy every moment of your favorite reality TV show, then with a cold, refreshing bottle of Pepsi. A pump as you get ready for the action. A quick pour into your glass.
And I remember in when we were in uni when he said he was going to start doing voiceovers. I was like, Kilo Jobe.
And of course,
You already knew.
But he started 200 level though. Mazino used to hustle. He used to go from Lasso. He would go from Lasso in between lectures. Oh. Fly to Ikeja GRA. Come back. You know where Lasso is here, no, but there was always traffic at Vokes.
Let's
How
go.
is that the voice?
We're back, studio. Glad to have you join us for this conversation in sports. So we're talking sports stories inside the locker room. 981 is a part of Smith's breakfast.
I forgot you two was on.
Look at
They
that.
have heard my secret.
The halftime conversation is ripe, very fresh. That's how we're talking about. Keep going. Okay. Nice. YouTube.com/Smooth FM Lagos. If you missed any part of that conversation in YouTube, the good thing YouTube replaces itself, so you can watch. But send messages to WhatsApp 0809-444-0981, and you can call 01-4489-981. Now, Chelsea manager Thomas Tuchel praised his 10-man team for their second half regard action in securing a 1-1 draw at Liverpool in the Premier League on Saturday. He says, "Fantastic. I saw a strong first half. A strong Liverpool side were very, very good. Scored the first goal. Had a big chance for the second goal with Mason Mount. I cannot praise the team enough. I do not know if there's a harder stadium than City and Anfield to call one man down with pure will. We took the heat out of the game. That was team effort at its very best."
So I would say this let me start from the incident that led to them playing with 10 men only. So because a lot of people have argued the double jeopardy rule, which is where a player fouls another player in the 18-yard box or commits an infringement in the 18-yard box, and he gives away a penalty, and he's supposed to get a a yellow card, but he's not supposed to be sent off because that's like a double jeopardy rule. So the double jeopardy rule is for incidents that are not intentional. So if the ball unintentionally hits your hand that was spread out wide, it's not a red card. It's a penalty. But it's not a red card. So if you went for the ball to tackle and you mistakenly got somebody's leg, it's not a red card. It's a penalty. Could be a yellow card, but it's not a red card. But with intentional fouls like this one that James Reese did, because he moved his hand to the ball twice, not once. So he did it so good, he did it twice. Because he stood and it's reflex, it's instinctive. He's standing in the goal mouth, ball is coming at him, and he's at the goal mouth to defend the goal. He did not know when he moved his hand. You know, it's like Thierry Henry trying to qualify France for the World Cup against Ireland. Remember how he moved his hand to the ball several times? That's what it is. So it was intentional. So yes, it was a definite red card. So that one double jeopardy rule doesn't apply there because it was an intentional infringement. So yes, red card and yes, penalty. Decision was perfect. Decision was correct. And then it led to Chelsea starting with 10 men. Now, the one thing I can say about Thomas Tuchel, I don't think he's the most brilliant coach I've ever seen in my life. One thing I know is he's one of the most pragmatic. He is a realist. He looked at the situation and said, we are at Anfield, we are playing Liverpool. If we try anyhow, we will see anyhow. And earlier in the day, another North London club had lost by 5-0, where a red card was given, but that's a story for another day. So he did what was pragmatic. Kante had an injury. He took him out because he knew he couldn't survive. Threw in Silva, threw in Kovacic, locked down the pitch. He narrowed the pitch down. That's what he did. And I think what was ridiculous for me was with all the flair players that Liverpool has, it shows their need for a number 10 because that player would have seen the pitch and been able to spread the pitch. But when you have Mo Salah, who is a forward, always looking for the ball to be given to him at his feet. The same thing with Sadio Mane running onto the ball, and nobody in the middle that can really visualize the play and spread passes, then you will play according to what the opponent did. So Chelsea narrowed the pitch and forced Liverpool to play in that small space. And so even if Liverpool had a man up, it was Chelsea that was managing the game, which was really, if you're Jurgen Klopp, you'll be frustrated. But for Thomas Tuchel, brilliant work by his team. And I will say this thing, at the end of the day, the best laid plans come down to the men that are executing it. So even if Thomas Tuchel did plan it, the Chelsea players that were on the pitch that day did their job perfectly. And so they came out of Anfield with a draw in a game that could have ended in a loss. So good one for them. Congratulations to them. Good execution.
Fantastic. Now let's well, actually we could take this message here from Larry from the abroad. Larry says Formula One fell through the regulatory tracks yesterday with much confusion over basic things as the race started. How many laps left, etc. But you can't really write laws to cover every scenario. Still, shout out goes to the FIA for prioritizing driver safety, and the real MVPs were the fans who stayed for over 7 hours in those miserable conditions and refused to leave.
Yeah.
Thank you, Larry. We'll take this call. Hello, good morning. Hello. We lost that.
We
Please
lost
call
that.
01448991. Let's talk about Manchester City's game. Now, the Manchester City coach, Pep Guardiola, and said Mikel Arteta was a good manager who will turn things around at Arsenal with a bit of patience, despite his team being trashed 5-0 at Etihad Stadium on Saturday.
I would say this: Pep Guardiola defending Arteta, coming out to say I've worked with Arteta for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah,
if Arsenal gives him time, he'll come good. I think Pep Guardiola is setting Arsenal up so that he'll be collecting 3 points there. He wants to guarantee 6 points for the
Arteta
season.
remains there. Please, don't remove that man. He's
Okay,
a good man.
on a more serious
Yeah.
note, perhaps if Arteta had some experience, that would be true. Unfortunately, you're only judged by your current results, and Arsenal are at the bottom of the table. Even Norwich City are above Arsenal. No points, no goals in the Premier League. Who does that? And so, yes, there'll be questions about Mikel Arteta, and yes, people will be asking for his head. And yes, there was a red card against Granit Xhaka. 2-footed tackle, boots off the ground, red card every day of the week. and twice on
Twice on
Sunday.
Sunday.
So
For good measure.
for good measure. So, but it was already a tough ask, even with 11 men on the pitch. They're already 2 goals down. So I don't know that Granit Xhaka was going to. I mean, them playing with 11 men would have guaranteed them points. It may not have been. The game may not have ended 5 goals to nil, but it would have still been 3 points to Manchester City. But again, they're missing a few key players, and a few players are just getting into form. So I'd say this: Arsenal season really starts after the break. Because when I saw the lineup when I saw the Chelsea and the Manchester City back to back, I knew it was a loss back to back.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why everybody thought because Arsenal defeated West Brom, they were going to defeat Man City.
Yeah, they
Two
thought
different
they
leagues.
had appended
Yeah,
that,
two different leagues. Two
train.
different leagues. So we're taking your phone calls now. If you were the Arsenal board, would you leave Arteta in charge?
Would you? Hello? Good. What's your name? What is your name? Lost him at the name there. Lawal Olamileko on YouTube says, "Hi, Taga. I watched you on Saturday analyzing Norwich game. Thank you so much. He liked your hair." And we have more messages. Emeka Onelum says, "You see Arsenal, even a toothpick is better than them. At least a toothpick has 2 points. Arsenal has none." Lastly, as a fun fact, Saturday, 28th August was the 10th year anniversary of the 8-2 thrashing of Arsenal at Old Trafford. So Lightning decided to strike Manchester again on our 10th year anniversary. And Tyler says, Chelsea came with a good game management, but Arsenal came in with this as a spectator. They are doing the Chris Wilder gimmicks. We all know what happened at Sheffield United eventually. He says, "I'm still waiting for Arsenal's goal of the month, like the Joker movies."
No, they have goal of the month. It's Premier League goal of the month you should be waiting for.
Shay says, Valentine, Chelsea survived Liverpool. Tega, you said no banter for Arsenal. Well, please complete these statements. Man City beat 5-0 at the weekend. He said the EPL table on the 20th position is ... He said, Valentine, my friend, turned his Arsenal jersey into... I'd never had an Arsenal jersey. Please. Thank you. He said, please, I don't want to banter today. After you've done this.
After you've done banter.
Read1 says, North London Ikorodu United are languishing in 20th position. 10 men Chelsea is better than 12 men Arsenal, to be honest. Wonderful game at Anfield on Saturday. That Spanish Siasia needs to be sacked ASAP. Good to see Messi making his debut. And Tajuddin from Alimo Shaw says, the toothpick comment is a banter and we agreed no banter today. Why?
I said no banter. I said no banter.
Cruz says, you said no banter.
I said no banter. I just want you to talk to us. Tell us, if you were the Arsenal board, how long is Arteta still in a job? So call us on these numbers.
0144899981 and let us know what you think. Mr. Fine says the shortest route to a high blood pressure is to be Arsenal supporter. Spent the highest amount on players in the EPL, 147.5 million euros. Yet, after 3 matches, 0 points. United got richer by 250 million pounds with the signing of Cristiano Ronaldo. That is what brands do. Thank you, Mr. Fine. Tom Annie says, at this stage, Arsenal should do a rebranding and change their name and logo. Let's take this call. Hello? Good morning. What's your name? Read one. Please go ahead. Quickly.
Yeah, I think Arsenal issue is right from the top to the bottom. From the top, the owner Kroenke, the man has many other things in the NFL, NBA. So he doesn't really care about how Arsenal is doing. Then down to their recruitment, in the last 2 or 3 years, they have been spending money buying mediocre players that are not what top class at all. So they just buy players based on how they are available and their price. They don't buy players based on what they need. Then also the coach, I don't think he learned well enough from Guardiola. So they should sack him and get someone that can take them to the next level.
Yeah, so you don't trust Pep Guardiola's judgment to keep Arteta.
No, it was 6 points.
General still praise you. And he will still praise you.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'll say this.
on.
People keep saying Arsenal has mediocre players. Well, look at West Ham United. What star player do they have that they are on? I mean, they're doing what they're doing. So I don't think it's just players. You see another coach will come in now and turn that team around. Remember what we used to say about Frank Lampard? Give him time. Is it not the same team that Thomas Tuchel is using to flog everybody left, right, and center?
That's right.
But Lukaku.
That's
so
right.
please.
Final comment here. Shay says, Valentine, the last time Arsenal played in Champions League, Arteta played against Aubameyang. Now, both of them as coach and captain, they can't beat our MFMFC forever. Tega, please help me not to banter Jerry.
Wow, look at all the messages. I
Yeah.
said no banter. See all the messages.
Gabriel says if only the board can be sacked before Arteta.
Yeah.
Miles from Abeda says as for us, Arsenal, I think the club should be sold. New recruitment should come in. Even Ozil capital letter O is bigger than Arsenal's point. Hey, Imo from Ikeja says Arteta's naivety was on display on Saturday. I watched the games between Watford and Tottenham and Wolves and Manchester United. Watford and Wolves played very, very well. The coach is a problem and he needs to be changed. Yele from Lekki, thank you so much. He says, as an Arsenal player, I've turned the table upside down and match game 4 will be first versus second. I see Arteta being sacked after the Tottenham game. And Cruz says, now love.
On a good note, I've decided I know who my husband will be now.
Yeah.
Yes, he's an Arsenal fan.
Wow.
Oh yeah, he will love me
That's the
nonetheless.
criteria.
Yes, he will always be with me. Regardless of what happens, he will love me.
Well done.
Ah.
And we started by saying no banter. Thank you so much for listening. Tega Supreme is her handle. And you can follow her work with ladies in sport at LIS.
And if you're an Arsenal fan, slide into the DM.
All right.
Very quickly.
Good morning.
The sporting world never loses its action. It changes. Only the players